questions for any of us, let them know in the chat. Let me know how everything's going. Let me know if audio's all well. It looks like everything on my part. For any of us, let them know in the chat. That always happens to me every time. I forgot to mute my stuff. That happens everything. But we're gonna welcome our guest Zenzo. So, Zenzo, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on here tonight, man. I really do appreciate everything.
Of course, absolutely. Happy to be on the channel, and I love live streams. So they're always fun to just chat with people and answer questions and things that I wouldn't normally think about. So happy to be here.
Yeah, so sweet. Thank you so much for being on here. So if any of you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments there. But let's get right into it. So I'm gonna kind of see who got in the chat here. So we like in the chat here today we got Joseph. Thank you so much, Joseph, for being here. We got Fishroom Fever. We got the Zen Ginger. We got hey look, we got Zenzo. No, but we got HC Aqua. We got Friday Fish Facts. But yeah, so thanks guys all for being here tonight. Looks like we got Candy. Can you pull your mic closer? Candy asked.
So right now I'm using my iPhone and I have the mic unplugged so I can hear Caleb. But what I can do is I can plug the mic back in and then turn the volume up on the laptop. I'll just be about 5 seconds behind as far as the lag.
If you turned it on that, there would be an echo.
That's true. There would be an echo. No, because I don't think there's an echo because then there would be no volume coming out of here.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay. So let me know. Hang on real quick. Let me just. There would be no volume coming out of here. So.
Yeah, there's an echo.
Is there an echo?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me know. Hang on real quick. Let me just. There would be no volume coming out of here. So.
Yeah, there's an echo.
There's an echo. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna have to talk loud, and I can always bring this closer to where I can sit closer to the mic. So
that's one thing I don't like is on the iPhone you can't hear and you can't use a microphone.
Right.
That's one thing that's like. I mean, if there was a headphone jack on these dang things, they need a headphone jack. I'll tell you. But yeah. So hey, Petsotics. Hey everyone for joining tonight. But let's first of all. I'm gonna get right into it. My mom has a whole bunch of different questions she wrote out. So, what? Yeah, my mom did last night too. I saw a sheet of questions, and I'm gonna go over some same questions I went over with Bob Steenfeld last night. But these are all new ones that my mom has here. So she wrote them all out for me. But okay, so first question here is, how did you get started? What age? So when you first got started and everything.
So when I was a little kid, so I was born in San Francisco, lived here for a few years, and then we moved up to Northern California for a few years, and I lived kind of way up in the super country, like mountain lions and bears and no neighbors, like way up in the mountains. And there was a stream, like a creek behind our house, and I would always go down there and catch tadpoles and stuff like that. So at a young age, I was always fascinated with animals. But even before that, I think I really got excited about fish because we have a really nice public aquarium here in San Francisco in Golden Gate Park. And so I would go there as a little kid and just stare at these fish exhibits. There was this one room where you would go in and these tuna would swim in a circle around you, and that was really cool. And I always loved all of the freshwater exhibits more than the saltwater exhibits. So all the Amazon exhibits and everything that was just very interesting and biotope style, I was super fascinated with when I was a kid. And I remember I got my first fish tank when I was probably around 10 or 11, maybe 11, right at 10 or 11, right around there. And it was just first we had a fish bowl, and then that didn't work, and then we got a 20-gallon tank, and it was overstocked with goldfish and all the things you're not supposed to do. But so that's kind of how I got into my first fish tank. And then I kind of got serious about it probably about 19 years ago, right around 19 years ago, as I started to like, okay, like I'm going to get a big tank, then I'm going to get another tank for the bedroom, and I'm going to do this and that. And so, and just from there, it's just kind of, I've had like peaks and valleys in the hobby. So sometimes there would be times when I only had like a couple vegetables, or if I was like moving or living in an apartment where there wasn't a lot of space, I didn't have like a lot of tanks all the time. So I'd go from like having big tanks to little bowls, back to big tanks, etc. So, but yeah, it's been a long time that I've been in the hobby.
Sweet, yeah. I know for me, I had very similar things. Like I just love the hobby of the fish of just all that stuff as well. And that's how I got it hooked. I got one tank and it went to one tank to one tank, and then it went up to me, and now I'm up to 27 tanks.
That's awesome.
It keeps on going.
You're getting an earlier start than a lot of us. I didn't get into multiple tanks until I was in my mid-20s. So you've got a head start.
But yeah, so if we go on to our second question today, when did you start making YouTube videos?
I don't know. Someone else probably knows better than me. Maybe like 4 years ago, I think. Maybe about 4 years ago, I think I made a video like on a 3D background or something that I made. And it was just shot like on an iPhone 6 or something like that. Yeah, it must have been about 4 years ago, because I remember for about the first year and a half of doing YouTube, like I would post like one video and then wait like 3 months and then post like 2 or 3 more and then wait like 3 or 4 months. I was very like sporadic and like, it's like, oh, like I've got 50 subscribers, like check it out. And I didn't really think about it. I wasn't really like into it. I was just kind of doing it just to share like a couple videos I made. I was like, wow, look at this video, 2,000 people watched it or something. I was, but I remember it was like April of maybe 2017. I want to say April of 2017. I met Corey for the first time up at his store. I was up in Seattle on business and stopped by the store, and I said, hey, I've got this YouTube channel and I'm into fish, and do you have any advice? And he gave me some really good advice. At that time, I remember I had 111 subscribers at that time. And so he gave me some advice, and I basically like did everything that he said I should do. And I think by September I had 1,000 subscribers, and then a year later I had 10,000, and then little by little I've been growing. But originally I was just doing it just because like I had no idea about being a YouTuber. I didn't really know how YouTube worked. I still don't know how YouTube works really, but I really just was I was really just kind of doing it for fun, just to share, like, oh, look at this, I made this thing, or here's how you do a quarantine tank, or here's how I do it. And thought nothing of views and likes or anything like that. And then I don't think I really got serious about wanting to like do YouTube until maybe within the last year and a half or so. I want to say year and a half, or yeah, right around there.
Sweet. So there was one question that I saw here from the Zen Ginger. So their question here is Caleb's Aquatics. General question: what is your favorite part about Zenzo's channel, and vice versa? Zenzo, what do you like about Caleb's channel? For me, I really like Zenzo's channel. The reason why, I just love the variety of things. Of the Mudskippers, just like those things blew my mind. Like seriously, like I didn't really know much about Mudskippers at all. If I didn't even know there was existence until I started watching those videos, and it just blew my mind. Like, I'm raw, which was awesome. I love the variety of the stuff that you have. Some people are just gonna have angelfish. Some people, they kind of expand out a little bit, but I just love the variety of the Mudskippers. If you try new things and just seeing how much work and effort you put in your videos, which is like the videos are just awesome.
Yeah, definitely the Mudskippers are new for a lot of people. They were new to me as well, and that's probably one of the things that has kind of accelerated my channel recently. And some of you on this chat have actually either had an influence in me getting Mudskippers, like Jesse, HC Aqua. I saw his before I ever got any. And some of you have seen him, like I know Joseph's here in the chat, and he was at my house just a couple weeks ago and saw them. And as far as me, what I like about Caleb, for me, it's easy. It's his energy. Just the fact that, you know, a young kid is super excited about, and I say kid, and don't like.
No, you're good.
I'm an old man, and I could literally be your dad. My oldest daughter is in college, so for me, I just love the energy and the enthusiasm, the way that you approach what you do, and like you're learning, and like you're like texting, like messaging me, like, hey, like questions and things like that. So just the fact that you're very enthusiastic and you're learning and you're like a sponge, and I think that's very it comes across in your videos. It comes across in, you know, the content that you put out there is just your energy and just the vibe that you have.
I'm trying my best to get all that. I'm trying. One thing I gotta know is I gotta start upgrading my filmware. Like I've been talking to Joseph. He has a different filming, editing software, so I've been looking at some of that. I'll just have him pull the trigger to sit down there for 5 hours and just learn everything. Yeah. You know, but
my recommendation is honestly, like, and you know that I'm like into cameras, but I'm not into cameras because of YouTube. I'm into cameras because like it's becoming a new hobby, to where like I'm practicing photography and I'm like doing like portraits and like landscape and stuff like that. I haven't shared any of these photos, but even like over the weekend, like I was walking around and like taking pictures of like fences and like bushes and stuff like that. So it has nothing to do with YouTube as far as my camera fetish recently. But honestly, like all you need is a decent smartphone. I think you're using an iPhone 8.
Yep.
What you guys are watching me on right now is the front-facing camera of an iPhone 8 Plus. That's what this is right here. I do have other cameras, obviously, but they're not used for live stream. So, and then as far as editing, like honestly, I went from 0 to 10,000 subscribers only editing on my iPhone with iMovie.
Really, that's what I've been using.
Yeah, because I remember a year ago, September, so that's just like 14 months ago is when I bought my first camera, and I bought a MacBook so that I could edit on my MacBook. And even then, I'm just using the free iMovie on the MacBook. So you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. Honestly, you just need a decent microphone that captures your sound. You just need lighting, and you can use really cheap lights. You don't need anything expensive as far as lights. Like I remember Corey came over to my house one time, like a long time ago, like in 2017, and I had like a garage shop light that I used like in the garage for like working on cars. Yeah. And I just took like a piece, like a bunch of PVC, and I made a frame, and I stretched an old white T-shirt on top of this frame for a diffuser. And I just had this old white T-shirt in front of a shop light. Like you don't need like expensive stuff or anything. Like I would say, I mean, if you're gonna buy stuff, do it because like you're into that stuff, but don't like think that you need that to make your channel big, because you don't. You just need to just be consistent and make good content and have good energy, and good audio and good lighting is pretty much all you need.
And that's what I heard is one key thing of good audio. Man,
yep.
This microphone, I can't get over this thing. This wind thing, instant seller. This thing just looks so dang cool. It's like this thing's a Rode Video Micro Pro or something. I don't really know what it is. I just bought
Video Micro. I've got the same one that's not attached right now because you guys can't hear me. You've got the echo, but it's the same one here.
Yep.
The Rode, and then I've got a few windsocks. I've got a different microphone now for my camera, but this is still really good, and I'll use this for like on my phone. I'll use it for it fits my action camera now, my DJI Osmo Action. So
I've seen some of those.
It's like $59 on Amazon. That's all you need.
But yeah, so people have been calling me. I just keep on denying them.
What's that?
Oh, people have been calling me. I just keep on denying them. It's like, and my friend keeps on calling me, and like, well, but so Zen Ginger said, great answers, love it. Pretty sure the energy is from Caleb is chugging Mountain Dew though. LOL. But so we'll go on to my third question, if I'm not wrong. Do you have a family that likes fish as well?
I do have a family, and they don't like fish the way I like fish. And I'm not lucky like Jason from Primetime Aquatics, where his wife is involved in the fish room and is building her own tanks and is involved in videos. For me, it's more they just tolerate it and they appreciate it, like looking at it, as long as they don't have to do anything. So
That's me. They like it. They like seeing it. But then
yeah,
my mom's
so
watching this right now, and she's gonna be like, "Oh no."
yeah, like my wife doesn't want too many tanks in the house. So currently I have 3 display tanks downstairs in the living room. And then I've got 2 small tanks here in my office behind me right there. And then otherwise, everything else is downstairs in the basement fish room. And that's just kind of out of sight, out of mind. So nobody really sees that unless they like purposely go down there to hang out with me. So
Yeah.
no, they're not into it. If I had 1 tank, she'd be just as happy, or probably happier than me having 29 or whatever.
Yeah. But I got another question here. What do you suggest? Okay, this is from my mom here. Oh, dude, there goes that microphone. My mom says, "What do you suggest for me to save money on fish stuff?"
For you to save money?
That's what my mom said.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the first one already, which is the YouTube equipment. Just those, I wouldn't spend any money right now on YouTube equipment. You don't need it. As far as saving money, probably the biggest thing that you're spending money on would be food. I would also say that when it comes to filtration, do things that are like DIY style or don't
Like filter
require.
floss and all that.
Yeah, so like sponge filters, super easy. They're super cheap, right? And like if you do have like hang on the backs, just make your own media for it and don't buy the cartridges. You don't. That's a waste of money for most people. You don't need like fancy, pieces of equipment to keep wonderful fish. I mean, like some people like Lucas, LR Brett's, like they don't even run filters, right? He doesn't even run filters in some of his tanks. So you don't need like, a $300 canister filter or anything like that. You can just be fine with a simple $9 sponge filter and hide it behind some plants. But fish food would probably be the one where that's just kind of an ongoing expense. And with so many tanks that you have, it's kind of hard to keep buying fish food. For me, that's my number one thing, is like I'm always buying fish food. So anytime like someone wants to send me free food for me to try it, I always take them up on that offer. And yeah, it's tough. I would just say do as many DIY things as possible. Well, the other thing that you probably don't experience, but your parents do, is the energy bill. So, right,
yes.
So your parents are paying for the energy bill, and the more tanks that you add, the more you're costing them. Even if it only costs you an extra 50 cents worth of fish food, it's costing them, $10, $15 more in energy bill. So that would be something that you really need to be cognizant of, is what can you do to reduce the energy cost?
And that's my plan. I really want to switch over to all sponges. I'm trying to like get everything designed how I want it to be, like central air system or whatever. But I'm trying to switch over to everything. It just it all depends on what it is.
Yeah, running everything on air is going to save you money as far as like plugging different filters into the light socket, into the wall socket. And then heating tanks, right? Heating tanks can be quite expensive because you're having to plug in a heater, and that 100, 200, 300 watt heater is running all the time, right? It's like having a light bulb on all the time in every tank. So maybe looking at ways to insulate tanks or position tanks where they don't need as much heat, things like that will help. And then I would say that's probably your biggest opportunity, is positioning tanks to where they don't need as to be heated as often. And lights, like if you have lights on all your tanks, make sure that all your lights are on timers.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, so that way like nothing gets left on. Really, for if you don't have plants in a tank, you don't need lights except for when you want to look at the fish. If you have plants in the tank, then obviously you need enough lights in the tank to make sure that the plants can go through photosynthesis. So you're going to have that on for 8 hours or whatever it is, depending on the plants and the type of light. But if you just have like a rockscape or anything like that, the lights are just for humans. The fish don't need it. So like for me, like in some of my tanks, I'll run no lights, and they just have like ambient light from a window or lights from another tank
Yeah.
that have plants in it. And then when I want to like sit and enjoy them, then I'll turn the lights on. And then that way, like it saves energy. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have 10, 15, 20, 25 tanks and everyone has a light on,
Yeah.
it really adds up. So I would try to save money that way. Because it could be, I mean, I don't know if your parents tell you how much the energy bill is. And depending on where you live, in some months it could be $300, $400, $500, $600 a month.
Yeah, I mean, I live in South Dakota, and it's like -30 constantly. Like, it's cold.
Yeah, so like for us here in California, our energy bill fluctuates between like $350 and like $550 a month, just depending on the temperature. So it's expensive, right? If you think about $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year just in electricity. So a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. But so I saw there was some questions, if I can find them. If you guys have any questions, make sure you tag me in them. But okay. Also, Candy, thank you so much for putting out Zento's YouTube channel. If you guys have not subscribed to him, definitely go check it out. But so it looks like if I go right here. Okay, Michael, hi all. Zenzo. How often do you put up new films when you started? That's not a question for me because I'm still starting, but
Yeah.
what do you?
So when I started, I was very sporadic. I was all over the place. Like I said earlier, it might be 2 or 3 months in between uploads, and then I'll upload a couple of videos. It was very sporadic. There was no system. One of the things that Corey suggested to me way back, a long time ago, was to be consistent and to have frequent uploads. So whether that's once a week or, twice a week or whatever you can, whatever you can do and manage, just try to be consistent. So even if it's only once a week, like just know that like, okay, every Saturday at this time, I'm going to upload a video so that people know like, hey, Saturday morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to watch Caleb's Aquatics and he's going to talk about whatever fish. So that way, like you can rely, or people can rely on knowing that you're going to have content. I try to stay to a schedule, and I do so about 90+% of the time. It's just that I'm so busy with so many things going on that it's sometimes hard for me to squeeze in that second video in the week because I'm traveling for work or I've got family stuff going on, or and I have like 16 jobs. So, it's not always easy for me to fill in and get the video out every time I want to, but I do try to at least be consistent for the most part. So I would say for somebody starting out, try to do at least once a week video. And to give you an example, so I have this other channel, which is not about fish, it's about fitness and stuff. And I've been terrible about uploading. Like I've been uploading like once every 2 or 3 weeks, because it's a lot. It's a lot for me to upload 3 videos a week for this channel and the other channel. So, and the channel's like not doing as well as it could be doing because I'm not focusing my attention on there. So, try to be consistent and upload once a week and pick a day and then just make sure that you do that same day and time. And the best way to do it is make a video, edit it, double check it, upload it, do all your tags and everything, and then schedule it for a certain time. So let's say that it's going to be Saturday. Make sure that you do everything like Thursday or Friday and it's ready to go. So Saturday morning at exactly 7 a.m. or whatever time, it loads and it goes out there for everyone to watch so that it's there. Just like a TV show.
And you're definitely busy when you're out there bench pressing 500 pounds, huh?
I wish I could bench press 500 pounds, but yeah, I am. So as far as like my, I said I have 16 jobs. I'm exaggerating, but I do have a lot of jobs. So I've got my regular like corporate job that pays the bills, and that job requires me to travel a lot. I usually fly like 90 to 100 flights a year all over the country. So I'm constantly in and out and traveling. And then I have my aquarium service business that I've really scaled down, but I still have a couple, consistent customers. I'm also a personal trainer. So I do have some private clients that I train at the gym, and I have to work out. I have my YouTube channels now, and I've got a family. And so that's a lot of things to squeeze in and try to get stuff out all the time.
Oh yeah, busy guy, huh?
Yep.
Well, sweet. So let's go on to the next question here. What is your favorite fish and why?
I would say my favorite fish is koi fish, and I've talked about this before, but basically it's just it's a fish that I've always loved. I just find them to be very beautiful, graceful looking, and the fact that they're in a pond, and usually they're like in a nicely scaped pond, and some type of Japanese tea garden or something. I really like that aesthetic situation that they're in. So I love the different color variations. They're a fish that can often be friendly and swim right up to you, and not everyone can have them, so it's something that you don't always see. So I do like koi.
I have 3 koi in my 125 right now too.
Uh-oh. I hope they're tiny.
Oh yeah, they're only about 3-4 inches long.
Are you gonna put them outside?
Yeah. Well, my plan is I got them at the end of the year from a local fish store. I was gonna wait. I was gonna see if I can sell them as that. If not, if I can't build a bigger pond, I'm looking to build a really big pond out there where I can have a lot of the different koi, and then I plan on, and then by then they'll be getting pretty bigger. So I plan on heating it, so then they're out there for the winter as long as I do everything right, But
yeah, and they can overwinter in cold. So as long as it's not like frozen solid, right? So
it probably would be frozen solid.
Yeah, South Dakota gets pretty cold, but I don't know if I mean, and the deeper you go, the better. They kind of like not exactly hibernate, but they kind of like hibernate in the winter. So like you don't need to feed them or anything. You just have to make sure that your pond is super deep if you live in a very cold area, and if you're building a pond for you, you're going to want to make sure that pond is in the ground and not an above ground pond.
Yeah,
that will freeze. Yeah,
definitely, because we have a local pond, and they have like a lot of fish in there that were for kids. So people go out there and there's they stock fish in there. So then you have a better chance of actually catching a fish. And it's kind of around town. It's not too far out. But this winter, froze solid. All the fish in there done. So they had to take all of it out. They had to restock everything. That's what I'm afraid that will happen to me if I don't do some sort of heater in there.
Yeah, so you'd want to dig it very deep into the ground. And being in South Dakota, you're going to have to get some heavy equipment and go down probably at least 3.5, 4 feet at the deepest part so that they can really be down in the earth. The deeper, the better. And then you're going to want to have something that's not letting the top freeze over, so like an air stone. So even in the middle of winter, there's still like oxygenation happening, but also like the top is not freezing over solid, that is still staying liquid. And you might it's pretty cold there, so you might need some type of heater in there in the super cold months, at least to keep the water like 35 degrees or something like that. You're not going to bring it to 60 degrees, but even if it's 35, 40 degrees, it's probably fine.
And I always thought as if something ever went went bad, I was looking, because right now I have 3 koi in there, and they're not too big at all. So what I plan on doing is having them in there either in the when it's prime time and have them in my koi pond. If not, I plan on getting a 300-gallon pool pond. So they're really like they're the Intex, they're like $80.
Yeah.
If I hot rig that, have like a garbage can with the filtration in there, and have that as for winter time if anything went bad. But I gotta get them. I gotta get them in a bigger tank. That's the biggest tank I own right now. Is currently I have two 125s, which are
Right.
the 2 biggest tanks.
So the 300-gallon the Intech pool would be okay when they're smaller.
Yeah,
But if
when they get
like
massive.
really, yeah, I mean you're talking about some of them are 30+ inches and they're like super fat.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need it.
It would be too small. I mean, it might be okay for winter if they're not doing anything, but I don't know. It's still pretty small for 3 of them.
Definitely, and then that's I really want to get a pool pond. I think that would be really cool having such a but it's like I'll kind of don't really know what I would do. If not, I think something I could definitely figure out something. But I know a person actually not that too far from me that has a huge pond in their backyard, and they recently came and they got like 2 goldfish and a koi. So I used to have 4, but now I've drawn my stock down, and I have another person that has a huge pond that they've been buying a lot of different goldfish and koi. So I know I probably once it comes around a little bit warmer, I probably got all those sold out there. And I
Right.
got all these goldfish from a guy with a massive pond. He just had too many in there, so he has like a 3,000-gallon pond. I mean, it's massive.
Right.
But yeah, so I always have connections because he wants koi. He's trying to get rid of all his goldfish to transfer to koi. So
Right.
he's trying to do some trades and stuff like that. But yeah, so sweet. So I know there's been a lot of questions, and I feel bad because I keep on missing them. Okay. What did I miss? We got okay. What's a question here? We got a new one here. From Mike M. Well, Mickey M. How many local fish stores are you in your area? I don't know. South Dakota City is very good. In local fish stores in my area, I have 0, nothing. An hour and a half radius of me. Absolutely no pet store. Nothing to get any sort of animal related thing, other than Walmart that sells aquarium products, but they don't sell live fish anymore. So I've been running this little business here in my town of South Dakota, and I've been doing that. So we got about 30,000 people or something, in where I live here. So I've been selling fish as a little bit of a business. So like definitely sells fish there, but yeah. So there's no local fish stores an hour and a half radius of me. Okay, there was some other questions up here. Oh my, I saw this one. Is it true he really likes warm pumpkin pie versus cold?
All right. So let me put this to
Gosh.
bed. So the answer that I said is I like all pumpkin pie, cold, warm, whatever. In fact, I had pumpkin pie Saturday night or Sunday night and Monday night. Cause I bought a pumpkin pie on Sunday, and we ate it cold. I made fresh whipped cream with real whipped cream, and whipped it up and put it on top. But I like both. I mean, sometimes I just want to like put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to make it a little bit warm. Not like warm to where it like tastes warm, but just like not like 32 degrees cold, but like 45 degrees cold. So, or like if you take it out of the oven and it's cooling and it's been sitting there for a couple of hours and you finish dinner and the pumpkin pie's there and it's all set, it might be a little bit warmer than room temperature. So, yeah. But I like it all warm. I like pumpkin pie so much. I don't have a huge preference. But yeah, I know it's like everyone has that question about the pumpkin pie. I like pumpkin pie and I'll eat it warm or cold. I don't like it hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I've missed anything. Bro, okay. So Connor says, what made you want to get Mudskippers, and do you regret getting them?
I first saw Mudskippers like in an aquarium when Jimmy Swisky, when he filmed Jesse's and HC Aqua. And then when I was in Hawaii last year, so I have family in Hawaii and I go to Hawaii like 2 or 3 times a year. And so when I went, I was with my brother who's also into fish, and I messaged Jesse and said, "Hey, can I check out your fish tanks? I want to see your Mudskippers." And so we went over to his house, and that was the first time that I saw them like in person. And I was like blown away. And they were the smaller Indian Mudskippers. So I went home and like I said, okay, I've got the perfect tank. I've got a 75-gallon frame. I started like thinking about all these different escapes and decided just how I wanted to escape it and ordered the fish. And then I had the Africans. I love those. And then I got the Indians. So no, I don't regret them at all. I really, really enjoy my Mudskippers. I have the 2 Mudskipper tanks. And if I had space, I would definitely consider even having more Mudskippers, other variants. I've been offered other variants from other people. I just don't have the tank space and the setups for them. But yeah, they're very enjoyable. They're personable. They kind of act like cichlids. They're just fun to watch, and the fact that they go in the water and on land is just very unique for a fish. So I love them.
Okay, sweet. So I still got a lot more questions here. So, oh jeez. What is your least favorite thing about your fish hobby?
Besides the expense of the energy bill, so we'll just put that out there. I don't love us just spending money and giving it to somebody else just for the energy. I would say that I don't like it when fish die, but that's kind of obvious. Water changes. I think water changes. I have a pretty good system of doing water changes. I'm very efficient with it, which I've shared in videos in the past. But I don't love doing it. It definitely is a chore where if I could change one thing in the fish hobby, I would want to completely like start over and have automatic water change system.
Oh
So
yes.
it's not really easy to work. It's not really easy where I am in my current like the logistics of how I have my fish room, and to go back now into like drill tanks and stuff like that, I'm not going to do it. But if I were to build a new fish room, I definitely would have the option of going to auto water change, even if I don't do it every time, even if I want to like manually look at my fish and make sure things are going okay and touch the water. The option of me just having, maybe it's a Sunday and I'm busy and I don't want to spend an hour and a half, doing water changes. I can just flip a switch or something and have it automated and just kind of watch it. That would be great. That would be something that I would love. Auto fill and auto drain, or be able to like turn a valve and manually drain them, but all at once, and then turn a valve and fill them all at once. So that would be, yeah. So water changes. I don't like water changes.
Okay, so we're going to our other question. What are your goals for 2020?
Fish keeping related.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have goals per se. I mean, I just want to continue on the path that I started several months ago, where I made the decision to simplify things. So I used to have like I had more tanks before. I was up to like 37 or 38 tanks, something like that, like bear tanks and lots of 10 gallons and stuff. And I just decided to just move away from that and make it simpler, enjoy the fish more, and not be, so much into breeding and stuff like that. And I want to continue down that road. I want to continue to build tanks that I enjoy. I want to focus more on the decor of the tanks and just being able to enjoy them, and not like have it be like a job or a chore. So originally my fish room started off as like overflow from upstairs for like holding and breeding and quarantine and fish that were fighting. And then it kind of morphed into what it is now. So I would just like to continue that. I want to just continue down the path of having like easier tanks, more display, and less just like bare bottom, empty stuff. And for the most part, I've gotten there. There's just a few more projects that I want to kind of fix and tinker on.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna go through some of these questions. Oh, okay. So I saw a kind of odd question here. So Caleb's Aquatics. All right. Here's a quick question for the both of you. I ask every fish keeper, what's your favorite species of catfish? LOL.
Okay.
Catfish.
I'm not a huge catfish person. I have friends that are super into catfish, like Carlos from Backyard Aquatics, that has like a lot of different catfish, and I've been to his fish room a few times and seen a lot of stuff that he's done with, like certain types of whiptails and certain other catfish. I don't know if I have a favorite, just because I'm not a big catfish keeper. I mean, I have Synodontis, I have some plecos, I have 2 plecos. So like in all my tanks, I have 2 plecos. I have one L002 in my Planet tank, then I've got a large common in my Oscar tank. I've got the Synodontis, Corridoras, a couple types of Corridoras, Autosynclus. I'll say Autosynclus are my favorite catfish because they are a helpful catfish that is not intrusive, very low maintenance, and as long as you have some plants and some algae and a balanced tank, they just kind of do their thing. So there you go.
Oh my. For me, man, catfish. Probably Synthedonis. I really love mine. I had 2 of them. Someone came by and like, I want these dang things. I'm like, I had someone that said that offered me, say, hey, can you have my Synthedonis? They're going to my tank. I'm like, okay. So I sold those, and I was going to go pick up these other ones, which turns out they did not fall through. So which was pretty sad, but Synthedonis, I just love how peaceful they are. I've never seen them. I mean, maybe sometimes they can get more aggressive, but I just have never had them get aggressive on me. I mean, I've had one for the longest amount of time. Like I had one that I purposely bought, and he was my 125. And then my teacher at aquarium, she went to go get some Cory catfish. She brought one home, and I'm like, that's not a Cory catfish. That's $50 catfish. I'm like, your 10-gallon tank is not gonna do too well for this. And I'm like, Cory cat. And then I told her, I said, down the road with all these, if you're even getting Cory catfish, you're gonna need to get like a 20, if not a little bit bigger. She's like, yeah, okay. And then she got the $50 catfish, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's mine now. So then I took it in and grew it out, and then I put it with my other guy in there. But yeah, probably Synthedonis is my favorite catfish. But I saw we got the one and only Fishy Biz in here. What's up, Fishy Biz? So, did you not go live last night, Fishy Biz? I don't know, because some people have been missing some live streams. Like, earlier today, Multi-Tank Addiction was supposed to be live, and I don't know if I'm just missing the memos or what. But thanks for the answers, man. Yeah, thank you so much for having some questions here. But yeah, so sweet. Okay, so I got some other questions that I had from last night. I'm gonna ask the same question than you. What do you think of hybrids?
So when you're talking about hybrids, are you talking about a color variation, or are you talking about two different types of fish that are blended, like a
Yeah.
flower horn?
Like a flower horn, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really feel strongly about them one way or the other. And the reason why I don't feel that strongly about it is because it's not nature. If we were talking about fish that were being reintroduced into waterways, if we were talking about, purposely hybridizing fish in the wild, then I would be 100% against it. But we're talking about keeping fish in a very unnatural environment, which is in a glass box in our home. So even if you have a big glass box and you have a 180-gallon tank or a 240, it's still a very unnatural environment. So I feel like it's fine to do what you want to do as long as it's not hurting the fish. So I personally have never kept a flower horn. I can appreciate them for what they are. I don't have any desire to keep one anytime soon, but that may change. I may keep one down the road. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of King Kong parrots myself, but other people enjoy them, and I think that's fine. Long, other like variants of fish that aren't necessarily hybridized, but made to look a certain way, like long-finned Oscars and stuff like that. It's not for me, but that's just my personal preference, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it as long as it's something that's not harmful to the fish. If it's harmful to the fish, if it's something that is making the fish uncomfortable or in pain or something like that, then I'm not for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any problem with it because again, you're just saying, hey, I like the way this fish looks when it's mixed with that fish. So I'm going to put these two fish together. I'm going to get these babies. They're going to have this big hump on their head and bright red and colors or whatever. I think it's fine. It's basically it's whatever people want to keep.
Yeah, as long as you're doing the right conditions and you're doing all the right things. But I saw we got some people that just joined in here. We got IFG. Hey man, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for joining it tonight. But yeah, so sweet. So what else we got here? So Fishy Biz says he was not live yesterday. It was snowy, cold, and I was with traffic and tired after I picked up my kids. Yeah, totally understandable, man. Sometimes it's just, sometimes it goes like that. But Joseph, what's up, man? Thanks for being in here today. So what else we got? Candy. Thanks, Candy. I was printing calendars, and he said last week he won't be live tonight. Fish room fever. Great advice, Zenzo. IFG said. Sweet. Okay. So Nikki M says, "What is your favorite beverage?" LOL. Oh my. Oh, you guys are kidding that? No, I like Gatorade. Maybe not. And my favorite beverage is water. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't really have I would have said water myself. Protein shakes. I don't drink soda really. I don't drink juice that much. Sparkling water. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. If I do, I enjoy like a nice scotch or a nice bourbon every now and then. But yeah, I'm not a soda drinker. I don't know. I can't even taste the difference between Pepsi and Coke if they weren't labeled, just because I don't drink them enough. So I don't know. I'll just say protein drinks. Chocolate.
My mom makes shakes but she has the right one that I love it. It's like she makes like these protein shakes. I love those ones.
Oh wait, I take it back. My favorite drink is boba tea, like a flavored fruit boba tea with the tapioca boba in it. I don't know if you know what that is. I don't know if they probably don't have it in South Dakota, but if you ever go to a city, Caleb, check it out. It's basically it's like a flavored tea, and it has like these little like dark like tapioca ball things in there, and you drink them and chew on them, and they're good. It's kind of an Asian thing, but I like that.
Okay, so IFG says, "What's up, man? How's it going?" Okay. Oh my, they're talking about the football game last night.
Oh yeah. So the funny thing is, I wasn't even watching, to be honest. And so Evan IFG is like texting me the whole time, and I wasn't watching the game. I was actually playing with my cameras and editing some photos that I took of my wife, and I don't have ESPN anymore because I turned off cable like a year ago. So I just have like HBO and the basic channels and internet because I watch YouTube, right? So and Amazon Prime and Netflix and everything. So and then Monday Night Football's on it's on ESPN. So I don't have ESPN, so I wasn't watching the game. I was just kind of like following it on my phone every now and then. I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, well, whatever. 8-1. Saints lost to the Falcons. 49ers lost to the Eagles. It's one of those weeks. Patriots lost. So, happens.
Man, if I say my favorite team, I think everyone will laugh at me. I'll just say they played pretty recently. Let's just say they lost. Let's just say that, because I'm not going to say who it is.
Are they near where you live?
What?
Are they near where you live?
No. They versed the Vikings. That's all I'm going to say. They versed the Vikings.
I don't remember who the Vikings played.
Oh, they played the Cowboys.
Oh, you're a Cowboys. Oh, that's right. I don't like the Cowboys.
I don't want to talk about that one. Oh my gosh, my sister. Well, my sister's husband, which would be my brother-in-law, if I'm not wrong. Messaged me. He goes, "How about them Cowboys?" And I don't say nothing back. I was like, hey, "Wait, how many Super Bowls does the Vikings have again?" And I was gonna send him like a picture, like I was gonna ask Google, say how many Super Bowls does Vikings have, and then screenshot it and send him that just to get him back. But Joseph says IFG in the house. We got that game was crazy last night. Definitely. 26 people watching. Healthy it is. Those drinks are definitely getting healthy. Zenzo trying to that joint, lol. 22 now, Bob. Oh, they're going off. IFG. Yeah, that's pretty good. My dang chair's like so squeaky. This thing I got like put some WD-40 or something in there.
Yeah.
Hey Amber, how's it going? Hey boys, just
Hey, Amber.
send some love. And I love Amber. She's awesome.
Amber was out here not too long ago as well. So she was hanging out in the fish room and she spoke at our club about wild bettas. So that was really interesting and fun. So thanks for coming out. It was great. No texting and driving.
49ers defense was going crazy. Messed up my fantasy. If you had to downsize one tank, what tank would what? Okay, let me read this. If you had to downsize to one tank, what size tank and what stock? My size would be 1,000,000 gallons. No, I'm kidding. It'd be the biggest gallons I could have. Oh, and then I'd put dividers in them, just like a mile. I'm kidding. No, but I'll have. Oh, I mean, to be realistic, I would love like a 280 or 180, something like 240 or something like that, and try some fish I never had. Bob really got me into the rainbows last night, so I'm definitely gonna try some of those out. Some rainbows, but it would probably. Man, probably be some. I really love angelfish. I really do. I have some koi angels and I have my marble angels over there. I have some breeding pairs of both, but yeah, what would yours be?
So if I could only have one tank, I would have a custom tank built, and I would probably build a corner tank, so it would be like a 93
like
tank.
A baseball field almost.
Yeah, so it would be a corner tank, and it would be 6 feet on each side, preferably 250 to 300 gallons. And I would probably have on one side like a Malawi scape with Malawi cichlids, and then on the other side I would do Tanganyikan fish. So Tanganyikan cichlids, a different fish from Lake Tanganyika, and then it would be divided in the middle with some rock work. And so I'd probably do a Tanganyika and a Malawi tank. One tank, 90 degree with a rock kind of in the corner dividing them.
Great. So sweet, Amber. Okay, oh, what happened to Joseph? Joseph said, Amber's not driving and texting. She would never do that. That would be horrible. Okay, she would never do that. Represent your team, little homie. Just drive.
And then I saw a comment earlier that was asking about salt. Would I ever try salt?
Oh, yeah. I think that's a little farther down, if not up.
Well, you passed it. So
yeah, sorry. Whoops.
Yeah, I would definitely try salt again. If I do salt again, it will be in a larger tank. So that was a 5-gallon all-in-one system. I do like the all-in-one system. I think that it makes it relatively easy. But I didn't really like get super excited about it. But I definitely would try it again. I'd probably go like a larger, like one of those flex tanks or some kind of cube that's maybe 15, 16 gallons, something like that. And probably even like put it in my office, back here somewhere. And maybe like a couple of clowns hosted by an anemone and some live rock, and just keep it simple. Some inverts.
Right now, not a lot of people know, but I have a 55-gallon saltwater aquarium right now. And not a lot of people know because I haven't made a video about it right now because this thing's so ugly. So I'm trying to get everything situated before I do anything. But yeah, I have a 55 salt with clown. I have a black clown. I have a yellow tang. And some like other dither fish, almost like $5 fish I just had. But to be honest, I got the normal clown and the yellow tang with the tank. So I got the tank and everything, but yeah, so I do have a saltwater also, but IFG, man, he's going crazy. Boo, no. Gosh. Oh, gosh. Michael must be Canadian. Oh. Honda, what's up? I love that name. Honda Civic. Oh, gosh. Okay, I am Swedish. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool how people all around the world are here, but one day I miss my stream. Life happens, definitely. Things in. Oh my gosh, IFG, man, he's going crazy after me, man. One thing I love IFG's videos when he goes, "Hey guys, welcome to my gang." I love that. Every time he does that, it just makes me laugh. So I just love that when he walks into a fish store, guys. Hey guys, welcome to IFG. Welcome to my gang. I just love that. It just makes my day every time he does it. I just start laughing so hard, and I just love it. But
I just pulled up my laptop and I'm going back to the beginning of the chat, and there were a couple people that were asking me specific questions. So HC Aqua asked, "What's the belt on the wall for?" So for those of you that can see, there's a belt. So
okay.
along, is it that way? There it is. Yeah. So a long time ago, in my last prior life, I was a fighter. And lost you. Yeah, so I was a fighter, and I was in martial arts. I was a martial arts instructor, a black belt, but I fought as a kickboxer, and so that's what that is I won a state title, amateur title, 24 years ago. 20? Geez, no, not that long ago. 20 years ago. 21 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was 24 years ago. 24 years ago is when I won that. So that is a long time for sure. And let's see. I think and then Friday Fish Facts asked a good question too.
Oh yeah.
and
Did I miss
he
that?
asked if I could only go to one fish convention, which
Oh.
one we could go to. So I have been to the Aquatic Experience. I've been to Aquashella. I've been to the AGA, and I haven't gone to the American Cichlid Association conference, but I probably will this summer, only because it's going to be not too far from me here in California. But if I could only pick one, it would be Aquashella for sure, hands down, not even close. The reason why is it's not like a normal convention where it's just a bunch of exhibitors and people looking at, walking around and doing stuff. It is very engaging. It's like a party. It's like disco coupled with fish keeping and aquascapes and contests and other creators and art and music, and it's just really, really, it's like a festival almost. So think about like most fish shows or conventions just being like a regular convention, like an expo hall, where Aquashell is more like a festival. So there are vendors there are booths, but then it's just like there's DJs and there's like black lights and
I mean, that was just awesome experience. I mean, it was awesome. I love that.
So Friday Fish Facts, that's what I would choose as far as one show. So if you guys have a chance to go to one, and Caleb, I know that you went to Aquashella, but if you live anywhere near Dallas,
it's
definitely go there in the spring. And then if you live anywhere near Chicago, definitely go there in the fall to go to Aquashella, because it's definitely, I would say it's worth driving, 6-7 hours to go.
And we drove like 11 hours.
Right. And you had a blast, right?
Oh, it was awesome. And my dad was talking about that today, how it was just awesome. And if it's the last weekend of March, I can absolutely 110% say I'm going. My dad's a huge NASCAR person, and there's a NASCAR race that weekend. We go, oh my, we'll be there for a week and a half. Just from like my dad's, he's a NASCAR guy. He loves NASCAR. So my, if you see my dad's garage, I should get a picture one of these days. Do like a little film, like 360, and you'll see how it's crazy. He has NASCAR sheet metal on the ceiling. Like, he ran out of spots, so he put it on the ceiling. He has like 25 NASCAR tires off the actual NASCARs. He's crazy. No, but if it's that last weekend, I can guarantee, because my birthday is in March, and the NASCAR race that weekend, I can guarantee I'm going there.
Awesome.
But if not, I always go to Chicago again. I've planned on maybe, if everything goes well, go to Dallas. And then maybe. Oh, what's the name now? What's the one in Pennsylvania? What's the name now? No, in New Jersey. Aquatic Experience. Yeah. Maybe that'll be the second one of the year. If not, I'll go up to Aquashella, Chicago again. I mean, it was only 11 hours, which is not even that bad. I mean, all we did is we left half a day on Friday. If I would have knew there was an aquatic experience, I mean, I'm not aquatic experience. If I would have knew there's some huge thing at Greg without the pond guy. If I would have knew that, I would have done earlier. But yeah, definitely. I mean, all we did is got a hotel that night. Went all those through Saturday. We didn't do Sunday though, which was better than nothing. Not going at all. But so I see IFG has a question. What's your next saltwater aquarium? I want to do more corals. I want to do more corals. I really think that'd be cool, because I think that'd be awesome. Some more corals. I want to do a smaller tank that can be perfect on a counter. I really think that would look cool. And I want to get my 55 set up. I have like no corals. It's not even colorful. It's just live rock fish, pretty much. I mean, I have some pictures and stuff. I took pictures along so I can when I make my video about it. But yeah, so definitely I want something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool, like that anemone and some clowns, something like that. Oh my, IFG, he's just going crazy, and then going, oh my, he's going crazy. Gang. I just love that. You always have something unique to remember for other people to remember you. It's like, hey guys, welcome to my gang. I just I love that. Gosh. Hey Pam, how's it going? We got Bob. Hey man, how's it going? Oh, I already got that question there. No, Chad just jumped on me again. Lovely. But if I'm not wrong, we got Susan here. Thank you so much, Susan. We got Candy. We got Melvin. Hey Melvin, how's it going? But yeah, so I don't know if I'm missing questions. Let me know. I see a question from Mickey M again. I'll just see if where to go. Right there. Ask your father about Kenny Brackish. Brack Crash. It's a miracle he survived. You know, if I remember how to pronounce that to him, I'll tell him. Oh my. Oh gosh. Wow, that's awesome. Jesus. Oh, Melvin. Everyone's just kind of talking amongst themselves. I have to go. Thank you for the fun interview. Have a great time in Hawaii. Sweet. Susan. Senzo, I came in late, but I wanted to know that you are most successful breeding. Okay. What is your most successful breeding tank? From Susan.
Well, when I was breeding purposefully, it would have been when I was breeding peacocks purposefully to where I would, put a male in with a few females. And the most successful breeding tank that I had was a 40-gallon breeder that was full of females. And then every now and then I would put a male in there and let the male breed with the females. And I would pull the females out and let them spit their fry in another tank. So those females gave me literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fish. And I sold most of them and I stopped doing that. So I don't have any peacock breeding tanks set up anymore, but that would have been my most successful breeding tank. As far as profitability, my most successful tank for breeding fish from a profit standpoint would be my shell dwellers, just because I can make a lot more money selling shell dwellers than I can selling peacock cichlids. So 4 to 5 times as much money selling the shell dwellers as I do the peacocks. And I do have a little bit of a breeding setup right now where I'll let them spawn and then I'll take out the adults and put them in a different tank and I'll kind of move them around. And so that's been pretty successful, but I'm not, like I said earlier, and I know you came in late, I'm trying to get away from breeding purposefully, unless I'm just trying to breed them just to have more of them or to share them. So I have some gold ocelotus. I'm hoping that they'll spawn sometime in the next 6 months. I have my 5-star generals that just had another spawn, and I have some fry that have survived for about a week and a half now, maybe. So so far so good, but I would love to see those successfully raise up and so that I can distribute those and have some more. But for the most part, I'm not really into breeding anymore, just because it's a lot of work, and I don't need to make a bunch of fish to make money. Because really, my experience, because I'm not really into shipping fish, I will do it every now and then, but you end up spending more money breeding fish than you do making them in the long run, unless you have something super easy that's just making lots of money and doesn't take a lot of work. So guppies, if you have a really successful guppy tank and those guppies got good, you can get a good dollar for those guppies. That's pretty easy. You just throw in some moss and some guppy grass or whatever and let them fry high, and then you can scoop them out as needed. But breeding African cichlids, you got to have multiple tanks. You got to do a lot of water changes. You got to feed them so much food, and then you got to raise them up for 6 months before you sell them. And if you had a large farm, it would make sense. But just to do a couple, 2 or 3 tanks worth of African cichlids, it's not worth the work that it takes to make a few bucks. So, yeah, long answer to your question. Sorry.
But yeah, so we got another question from Don Gallagher. Zenzo, what's your favorite South American cichlid?
My Oscars. I love. I mean, just they're so personable. I've made lots of videos about Oscars. I have 3 currently. Very personable, enjoyable to look at. Good-looking fish, larger, which is kind of exciting. But there are a lot of cool South American cichlids. If I didn't have the Oscars, I would probably say Geophagus would be high on my list of favorite South American cichlid. Maybe some Apistos as well. So yeah, but I would go with Oscars.
Staying cherished, swear I tell you. So IFG, hey, IFG says nice nano. I'm back. When is Zenzo coming?
Oh, so I don't know, Jesse. I'm not gonna. I was gonna go to Hawaii like next week or something, just to go to the Big Island for like 2 days. But I'm not gonna go. And I don't think I'm gonna go to Oahu before the end of the year. I'll probably go in January or February. I don't know where. Oahu, probably just for a short time to visit family. I want to go back to the Big Island again, and I'm trying to. I want to move there. So my ultimate goal, long term, is to live there, but that's kind of a few years away. Yeah, I'll let you know when I come.
IFG says question for Zenyo. No, I'm kidding. He fixed it. He fixed it. Said Zenzo. Adding any more tanks anytime soon?
Nothing planned for new tanks. Yeah, nothing really planned. I do have like an idea about something, but I'm just kind of thinking about it, so I haven't decided. But no, nothing planned right now.
Okay, so Susan says shell dwellers. Okay, Fishy Bit says, what type of shellies did you sell?
Neolamprologus multifasciatus is what I currently have a bunch of. I literally have hundreds of them. And then the gold ocellatus is what I have 4 gold ocellatus. I'm hoping that I've got, at least one female, and that they'll spawn when they get a little bit bigger.
So sweet. And then IFG has another question. When are you coming back to my area?
I know that I'm going to be in Texas in I think April. I'd have to check my other computer. I want to say April. I've got to be in Texas for work, so that would be the earliest, or March for Aquashella, right? Whenever. So I'll be in. I know for sure I'll be in Texas twice in the spring, one for Aquashella and then one for another work conference that I go to. So we'll just have to make sure I can carve out a little extra time and stop by.
Mickey M says, what's your largest tank?
125.
Mine as well. Mine's a 125. I have 2 125s, like 655s or 5 or 7. I don't even know. I can't count that high. No, I'm kidding. And then I got a lot of 20s and 29s and a lot of other tanks all over the house. But IFG says, another question. How's the koi?
Koi's good. I've got 1 koi currently, and it's doing fine. I lost 2 to some really bad disease that I talked about before, but the 1 koi that I have is great. And I'm probably going to replace those other 2 with a couple more small ones let them grow out, and then when they get big, I'll have to trade them and get small ones again. So, but they're good, or it's good. It's getting big too. They grow fast.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Susan's commenting about her guppies. They need the tanks, food though, but they grow as fast and don't live as long with cichlids. Hello. GoFundMe for Candy. Everyone check that out. Check that out for Candy. And Pam as well. Candy and Pam. Check that out. Great cause of that. But hey, Punchy, IFG saying, oh jeez, chat keeps on jumping at me. Hey IFG, hey Pam, everyone's saying hello. So Zenzo, how many tanks do you have and any? How many tanks do you have and any? How many tanks do you have and what's your next project in the fish room?
I currently have 29 tanks. Well, 28 plus one, my pond. And then my next project, just some more scaping of some tanks. And then I think I'm going to do a DIY background and show everyone how to make it, just because I made a few in the past and never really filmed it properly. So I'll show people how to do it from the very beginning, like going out shopping for the materials and how to build the molds and the whole thing. So, yeah.
So sweet. So we got some other things here. Oh, it says Big Islander right here.
Yeah. So my parents used to live on the Big Island. My two younger brothers grew up there. I used to go there. My parents moved to Hawaii when I was still in high school, so I stayed here and finished school and et cetera. So I would go during the summers and spend my summers on the Big Island. And I go to the Big Island every year. And I got married on the Big Island. So it's my favorite of all the islands because it's quiet. There's not a lot of people. There's more space. There's a lot of diversity as far as like topography and, climates. So you have desert, you have rainforest and everything in between. It's not expensive compared to San Francisco. Pretty much nothing is. So yeah, I look at houses every week. I've got a real estate agent that emails me listings, and I know where I want to live and I know where I don't want to live. So we'll see if it happens.
But yeah, so Zenzo's shell dwellers. So it looks like that's your YouTube video about those. Good day, folks. Feeding fish and lurking. Don't forget to dial that like button. Hey, Rob. We got Rob here. I gotta go. Thank you so much, Susan, for being on here tonight.
Bye, Susan.
We got. Holy crap! Everyone keeps on jumping at me. You always want larger tanks. Thanks for the nice stream. Thank you so much. You had a lot of questions here, so I really do appreciate having the questions here. But the street, so GoFundMe for Pam. Try to check that out as well. Prison Mike says, "Is it okay to have 2 angelfish in a 38-gallon?" I feel that's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's fine to have 2 in a 38-gallon. It would be better if they were a pair, because then they could spawn for you and breed. And if there aren't any other fish in there to bother them, then that would be great. But sometimes they can be a little bit aggressive, especially if you have like a male and that male's trying to chase away other fish. So, but yeah, I think 2 in a 38 would be fine. Definitely, I would add like plants and have like some cover so that one can get away from the other if they need a little bit of hiding place or whatever, just to not be seen so much.
Yeah, this dang chair, I'm telling you, man. This thing, it just keeps on going back. It's like,
don't buy a new camera, buy a new chair.
No kidding. This is my dad's chair from upstairs, so I was gonna tear that thing up. But so we got here. What's some questions? Let's see what we got here. Michigan Fish Gang got to make sure the kiddos getting ready for bed. So good night, Kiddos Aquatics and Zenzo. Great stream. Thank you so much, Michigan. That would be cool, Zenzo. I can't wait for the project to come soon. Will you do any more Mudskipper tanks?
I would, if I had the space and came across the right Mudskippers. I probably want to do a different kind of Mudskipper if I did Mudskippers, another Mudskipper tank, so another color variant or another type of Mudskipper. But yeah, nothing planned, but I would definitely be open to it if I had something that presented itself.
But looks like we got IFG. I'm going to do a goldfish pond. Ever thought about that, Zenzo?
Yeah, I have goldfish now. I've got 9. I've got 9 goldfish in my pond. I've got some commons and some shabunkins, and
Same thing.
I love them.
Same thing with right here. Right now I have 55. I have 1 large black moor, 2 small, almost like baby black moors. I have 1 fantail and a shabunkin.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty small right now. So, and that 1 big black moor will be sent to Susan pretty soon, and then all the other guys grow pretty fast in there.
Yeah, I like goldfish, and they're pretty hardy. I keep mine outside, so they're outside year round, and it's wintertime. We don't get that cold here, but the water might get down like 45 degrees, something like that. So yeah, they do great.
Prison Mike says thanks. Yeah, Unfiltered said, "Yo, it's IFG." Okay. IFG. I've lived in Houston and watched your channel. You frequently a lot of. Okay. I watch. Okay. You frequently a lot of places I've been. I just wanted to say hi from Zen Ginger. IFG says, "What's up?" Zenzo, I took forward to a DIY background build from Sandy.
Yeah, I think it would be informative for a lot of you to see how it's done. It's not difficult, but it does take a lot of work, and I've made mistakes in the past, so I'll definitely be able to talk about those mistakes and things to watch out for. And it's and the great thing about it is you can make whatever you want, any kind of design. So yeah, it's fun.
So that's sweet. IFG says, "What's up, Zen Ginger?" We got Hey Zen Ginger. Everyone just kind of saying hi. But so now that I got some more questions here,
And I'm going to give you about 7 more minutes, and then I've got to run.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we'll end here in about 6 minutes at 30.
Yeah, perfect.
But then yes, sweet. So. Okay, my mom had another question on here. What should my goals be, in your opinion, for 2020?
Your goals?
Yeah.
For you, I would just say do what you enjoy that brings you happiness, and don't worry about what other people think, and don't worry about how it's going to impact your channel. You're not going to get rich from YouTube, and if you do, it's going to be a long time from now. It's going to be years and years of work. Even someone like Joey, I mean, I don't know how long he's been on YouTube.
Like 12 years, probably.
Right. And he made probably no money for like 8 years, right? So I would say just do it. Just do what you enjoy. Like, keep the fish that you want to keep, and do the kind of things that you want to do. And don't worry about like how it impacts YouTube or what people are going to think about this tank, or I have to make this tank because that's what YouTube wants to see. And then you start thinking about it like a job, and it becomes a lot of work. So I would just say, don't worry about other people, and just my advice to you as far as your goal should just be continue to learn in the hobby, experiment, try different things, try, new ways of keeping fish that are new to you. New ways of filtering tanks and heating tanks and things like that will not only obviously save you money and help you be efficient, but then also allow you to learn and grow in the hobby, and not so much like worry about the channel and adding a tank every month or anything like that. So that would be my advice, is just have fun and just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Joseph just said 27 watching and 30 likes. Sweet. And then I saw on my second monitor, Melvin goes, "Hi Joseph, aka Jamber."
That's a good one. Jamber.
Good advice. Sweet. Okay, so K Towns asks, how do you deal with humidity in your fish room?
Yeah, so for me, it's really easy. I have a dehumidifier. The dehumidifier pulls the moisture out of the water, out of the air, and basically expels water. And most dehumidifiers, there's like a catch basin. In a fish room, that basin is going to fill up like every day. You're going to have like 3 or 4 gallons worth of water every day that you're going to have to empty. But most of them also have a hose fitting, so you can connect a hose to it. So I have a dehumidifier in my fish room, and then I have a hose that's connected to the dehumidifier and that runs outside. So I never have to empty it. It's just always pulling water out of the air and is dumping it outside on the driveway. So it makes it super easy. It makes the air temperature perfect. I keep it at 35% humidity, which is like perfect. So nothing gets moldy, nothing gets mildew. There's no smell. It's relatively dry. It's easy to breathe. Nothing gets damaged in there. No rust or anything. So that is good. And then the other thing that I like about a dehumidifier is it expels heat. So the energy process of it extracting the moisture from the air and then extracting the water and putting it into a tub or out the hose, it creates a lot of energy and heat. All that heat has to go somewhere. It goes right into my fish room. So I have my fish room insulated, and that is the only way that I heat my fish room is with the dehumidifier. So the dehumidifier pulls water out of the air, keeps the air nice and dry, and then heats the room, so I don't have to worry about heaters for any of my tanks in the fish room. I only run heaters in some of the tanks in the house. And then probably and I don't know how it's going to be this winter because I changed my wall and did some more insulation, but I'll probably have to I have a heater down there, like a plug-in heater that I'll probably have to run for maybe 2 months out of the year when it's like super cold. And super cold here is like 45 degrees outside. It's not.
Oh yeah, we get the negatives, like negative 30 almost. Like not negative 30, but it gets cold.
Yeah, and even 45 is not going to be 45 for a whole month. It might be like 1 week where it's like 45 and then it's 50, 55, whatever. But when it gets below 50, I'll turn the heater on and have it running for a few days during that week or whatever. So, but yeah, it's super efficient.
But Twins Reef has a question. It says, "Hello. Ask Zenzo if he has gone to the 6th Avenue Aquarium in San Francisco lately. I want to visit him soon, but I don't remember if they sell corals and plants. Thanks."
Yeah, so Twins Reef, 6th Avenue Aquarium is one of the stores that I go to for fish. So I go to a few different fish stores depending on what I want and what I need. So some fish stores I go to buy salt for like my service business and fish food. Other stores I'll go to for fish. Other stores I'll go to for, like when I was buying coral or, other things like that. So 6th Avenue doesn't have a huge selection of plants. They do have some plants, but not a huge selection of plants. But they do have a lot of coral frags. So there is a pretty good selection of coral frags at 6th Avenue. And I have purchased some there before.
So we gotta finish up these last that I have here, and then we're gonna call her a night. But IFG says stream is popping. Yeah, it's been a pretty great stream tonight. Aquaball says, "I want the humidity in my room." But then K-Town says, "Hey." So we're gonna end it there. Thank you so much, Zenzo. I really do appreciate you coming on, being a special guest on here. I really do appreciate you spending your time. But I'll let you know. Fishy Biz, everyone's bagged. But yeah, so we're gonna end it here. Thank you so much, man. So I'll see you guys later. Fishy Biz, everyone on here. Thank you guys all for watching. You guys can check me out on my Instagram. Is in the link in the description. Check out my Facebook. Also check out Zenzo's channel. I'll have a link in the description. Check it out. Go check out all his content out. But I'll see you guys in the next time. Bye bye.
See you guys.